Mhm. Right. Mm. Mm.
Hello guys, welcome to Simply Learn. Good morning to all of you. Guys, please give me a quick confirmation on my audio check if my voice is loud and clear to all of you. Perfect. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Guys, as this is your first class for this batch, so I would like to go through some ground rules which will help you to make your experience smooth throughout. So let me start with the very first rule that we will have to start the session on time and ensure that it will end on the time. Everybody will be on the mute to avoid the background noise. You may post your questions on the chat window by choosing the all participant options. Okay. You can request the trainer to unmute you in case your question or your query need a more elaboration. Okay. All your question will be addressed by the trainer at the end of the particular topic. There would be a polling activity in the middle of the session, which is the instant feedback to the trainer. In the term to know the pace and the delivery of the topics, we would have 15 minutes of break after post the polling activity to ensure guys will be back on a time. Okay. In the end, we would have a question and answer hurdle session. Okay. You may ask or post any question pertaining to the course content or exam. Also, trainer would be brief you on the upcoming topics and how to connect using community or the help and support for the question you may have during the session or post the training. Okay. If you would have a once you will end the session, you will get one auto-populated feedback form. If your experience would be really great, then you please rate us 4 or 5, or if it is below 4, then leave us a comment so that we will improve ourselves in the upcoming sessions. Kindly refrain from sharing any personal contact details on the chat box, as these sessions are recorded and shared globally. So you feel free to ask any questions on the community forum, but please do not share your mobile number, email ID, any personal information here. I hope guys this uh, this will help you throughout the session. Without doing a further delay, let me introduce to our trainer for this class. We have a Pushkar as our trainer for this batch. He has been with us for a long time, and we are glad to have him again. So he has given us some great batches, and I'm sure this batch will be just as good. So let me quickly have an audio check with the Pushkar. Hey, hi Pushkar, can you hear me?
Hey, hi. Yes, good morning.
Very good morning.
Am I good, right?
Yes, yes, your voice is loud
Okay,
and clear.
okay, great.
Just
Good
quickly,
morning, everyone.
let me give you a presenter access.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's with you.
Okay,
Happy learning, guys. Enjoy your session.
thank you. Thanks. So, yeah, first of all, good morning and welcome to this training. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening as per your time zone. So, let me introduce me first. I'll just quickly share my screen. Yeah. So basically, I'm a DevOps admin, and I'm working with the IT industry from 10 plus years in various technologies like Docker, Kubernetes, Linux, then application support, managing load balancers and various databases and monitoring as well. So I do have a certification RSC, RSCVA, and I'm also doing CKA. So this is a quick introduction about me, and today we will be working on like Dockers and what is Docker, what is container and all about, and we will have like a theory as well as practical hands-on session, how to use the Docker, create container and all. So let me quickly share you and one thing about your simply learn LMS. So please start your practice labs. It will take some time to start, so please start that right away, so that it will take some time and you will get a this view that master worker and worker 2 noise on the line. Okay, let me check. One second. How about now? Can you please confirm about my voice? So we will be, yeah, no issues. We can work on master node only. Uh, Today we will need only one node, master node. Okay, thanks for confirming that voice is better. Okay. So I hope like you gone through the this simply learn. You will get the self-learning video here, then live classes as well. Here the practice lab is there. Then you can also download your ebooks. One second, my bad. Yeah, you can also download your resources here, which is having the all the sessions PDF PPT. So yeah, let's check about then what is Docker. So I will quickly share my screen. I think yeah, screen is already shared. So yes, so what is we'll just quickly check about what is Docker. Okay. So yeah, so what is Docker basically? So Docker basically is an open platform which is used for developing, shipping, and running your applications. So you can see like in Docker, we can create a Docker container which will have. Can I get your chat screen available? Yeah, one second. Yes. Yeah. Thanks for the suggestion. I have removed that chat screen. So yes, so the Docker is nothing but the open platform for developing, shipping, and running your applications. So within a Docker, like there can be one application, or there will be a multiple application within a single Docker container. So we will check like what is the Docker basically, and this Docker provides the ability to package and run an application in the container itself, and we can basically put that container or share that container on a different platform, and we can reuse that same container or the image on a various platform. Maybe it's like a, and it will be independent of the OS as well. So I will just show you one thing. Okay. So basically, you know about virtual machines, right? So this is a kind of traditional virtual machine is having hardware infrastructure, the physical servers. Then on top of that, it's having a operating system as well. An operating system will be involved like libraries. I will just check like whose mic is mute. Let me check. Okay. I think okay. One second. Someone mic is mute. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So yes. Yeah. So what is virtual machine? Basically, virtual machine will have like a base operating system will be there. On top of that, we will use the virtual machine uh, software like KVM or like VMware and all. And using that software will be creating the virtual machine. So virtual machine, there can be multiple virtual machine on a single box, but every box will be having all these things repeated, right? Like it will be having a operating system. Maybe we can have a Fedora, CentOS, or Ubuntu, right? So all the VMs, virtual machine will be having their separate operating system libraries and libraries dependency and various apps like Nginx, HTTPD, or various application database. So each virtual machine will be having all these installed, so that, but as a long run this will not work because it will uh, consume a lot of resources on the base machine, so that this Docker is developed. So if we like I will just give you. So basically, so that's why this Docker is developed, and basically the hardware infrastructure, uh, on top of that the Docker is hosted, and using the Docker we can basically create the containers. Okay. So let me go to the PPT. Okay. So Docker is is used to create, develop, and ship your application from your QA uh, QA environment to the production. So we can test the application in the QA or dev environment itself. We can call it as a staging environment. And once everything is tested for that particular application, we can ship that image to the production environment, so that there will be no issues observed because all the testing will be done in the staging environment. So this is a quick intro about the Docker. So in this image, like we can see, the Docker is having a single application as well, or it can have a multiple application as well. So what are the usage of what are the usage or features of Docker? So basically, if we compare that with a virtual machine, in a virtual machine all the applications are uh, configured on a single machine or host, right? But if we talk about Docker, so we can do a application separation. So for a database image we can have another new container, or for web server we can have a new container. Okay, so we can do a isolation, and there will be security aspects as well for this Docker container. Like if you are maybe adding some chart, I will check that. Okay, can you get your chart screens? Okay, thank you. So yep, so these are basically the features of Docker. We can have a simplified configuration because using virtual machine it's very difficult to manage and lots of resources will get consumed. We can have a rapid deployment, like if using Docker, the container images are very small, lightweight, so that the deployment will be faster, and there will be increased productivity using the features of Docker. So this is basically the quick comparison between virtual machine and Docker. We have already just discussed that. So like for Docker, I will just discuss about the Docker. So the host OS, like maybe it's Ubuntu or CentOS, that is shared by all the containers which are basically present on that particular host. And virtualization is OS based here, and as the image is lightweight, like we will discuss about what is the Docker image and all. So image is nothing but a like a set of instructions, like whatever the libraries or dependencies that are present, that we can combine that in an image, and that image, using that image we basically create the container, so that the image size for this Docker is very small, and that's why it's takes very much less time to start up. Uh, okay, yeah, not able to follow. Okay, okay, I will just decrease my speed. Okay, 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 thanks. So so I hope like if you have any query about virtual machine versus Docker, like why the Docker is important, please let me know. So basically in the Docker, Mm, basically, the main purpose is like for developing, shipping, and running applications for a Docker, and we can package our applications in an isolated environment, and the content is basically getting created for that. I don't have a background idea of, okay. I don't have a background idea of deploying application. Why it is preferred over, yeah. Okay. Okay, so yes, basically, as I mentioned, these virtual machines are very much bulky because the complete OS is present in that virtual machine, and on a top of that, we have to install all the applications. But if we compare with the Docker containers, once the like there are already various um, uh, images available, like OS image, Alpine based image, or various CentOS as well. So these are very much lightweight. Uh, it's having only the code or the libraries or dependencies which requires to run that CentOS machine or a CentOS container. So that's why it's very much lightweight, and we can easily port that. There is no uh, OS specific dependency. If we compare with the virtual machine, then virtual machine is having like suppose if it's having CentOS image, CentOS operating system, or Fedora or Ubuntu, each operating system will have a separate instruction to install a particular software, right? And also we have to also solve the dependencies according to the operating system which is present on the virtual machine, right? But this is not with the Docker. Once the image is ready, that Docker image we can easily shift on various operating system, and it will run as it is. It will not create any issues or any dependencies for that particular image. So that's why the shipping and containerization is very much important. And if you can take an example of Ubuntu, like Ubuntu almost having 1 or 1.5 TB of uh, virtual machine image size, a desktop as well as server version. And if you want to start a VM, it will take some time to start that. But if we compare with a Docker image, it's a hardly like a 100 MB image. So the startup will be very much quick if we compared with the Docker. Okay. So this Docker is used by various industries, and now it's a trend. Like you are aware about DevOps, containerization, Kubernetes. Yes, I will go through that. The agenda is basically we will discuss about what is Docker, what is container, how to install the Docker, how to create a container, how to download a image, how to deal with the containers, how to stop container, how to start container. So we will go through all this, and we'll be discussing about the Docker containers, images, and we'll do the same on the labs as well. Okay. So yep. So I will quickly cover about the exam. So this Docker Kubernetes Docker certified associate is having a 90 minutes time duration. So I will not much discuss about the exam. It's having a multiple choice questions, MCQs, and yes, I will just quickly check. Someone is typing in the chat. Hi Babu. So container is created on a top of any physical machine. Correct. Yes. Mm, please share the syllabus. I think syllabus is already with you. Like if you check, I will yeah, and you will get a view as well in my coming slide that what is the syllabus for overall this program. And yes, the container is created on a top of physical machine. We will see that like as we have a master machine. Yep. Thanks Raman for replying that. You can refer ebooks so that you will get a complete view of the curriculum and agenda as well. Yeah. So this exam will not be yeah, the exam will not be provided by Simply Learn. You have to opt for that. Yes. So so for exam, basically I will just be quickly covering that what is the exam, how much duration. This is the syllabus basically for the exam, which will have like orchestration, image creation, and there is a weightage as well for the each topic. So please go through that. Okay. So this will be kind of sample questions, MCQs during the exam. And yeah, as I will just repeat, like the exam will not be provided by Simply Learn. You have to opt once the class is finished. You have to opt for that. You have to prepare, and you can give the DC exam. So yeah, I think yeah, someone was talking about like what will be the agenda for all this training. So basically, we'll be having an introduction of Docker, then image creation, management, and registry. Then third topic will be networking. Then fourth is orchestration, installation, configuration of Docker Enterprise, then security and Docker Kubernetes service. So you in your ebook basically you will get each topic PPT and PDF. So uh, yeah. So yeah, we'll discuss all these things about Docker file, Docker images, registry. Okay. Yeah, we'll discuss on each topic. Okay. And we'll discuss about a Docker file as well in coming lectures. But yeah, our main goal for today is like to start with the Docker, how to create container and all. Okay. So I'll quickly just and at the last we will be also checking for the Kubernetes. Okay. Kubernetes orchestration, how to create a pod, how to create service. All these things we will cover in. I will just share my second PPT. Okay. So Yes, I will simultaneously be checking my question and answer as well. Questions asked. Yeah. Yeah, we will be checking the how to write a Docker file with a real base example as well. Okay. Storage is also a part of our syllabus. Yes. Yeah. 1 minute. Yeah. So 1 second only. Okay. So yeah. mm, so this will be agenda for this topic, like what describe the Docker and its functionalities, Docker architecture, properties of Docker and installation. So we'll quickly go through that. So yes, basically the Docker is used by developer as well as system admin, and as I mentioned earlier, it will be like used to develop their code, ship that code, and run the application using the container. And you can take an example like earlier, it's the situation was very difficult. Nowadays, what developers are doing, they do have their testing QA development environment. They can create their Docker images. They test that thoroughly, doing a all QA, and once the image is basically certified that it's not having any vulnerabilities and all the functionality is working as expected, then there will be a production deployment. That same image will get deployed on a production, and the production traffic will be coming on that Docker container. Okay. So yeah, I just discussed about this, like how to test the application. uh, So yeah, so we will discuss now about what is the Docker architecture. So Docker architecture is having basically the three components. One is Docker, and it's a client server architecture. Okay, so it's having a server. We call it as a Docker D daemon. It's basically do the interaction with the REST API, client API as well. Then there is a REST API. The REST API basically it's communicate with all the external programs, and it's also communicate with the daemon and interaction with the related components. Okay, and the CLI command line prompt, basically using this command line we basically interact with the Docker server, Docker D daemon. Like if we do some Docker commands, we as a client basically interact with the server, and whatever the command we type, we get a response or we get a output for that particular command. Yeah. Yeah, it's a full screen only. It's a full screen only. Yep. So yes, so this is basically the Docker architecture. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. This is the full screen only. Please confirm once again. Yeah. And this is the Docker architecture we just discussed. It's having a Docker daemon. It's a process basically. On top of that, there is a REST API, and also there is a Docker client CLI prompt. And all these Docker components basically manages the Docker objects. So there are various Docker objects like network, container, image, data volumes. So all these objects, Docker objects, basically managed by the this Docker engine. Okay. So basically, this is very much lightweight. That's why we can easily create our containers and the interaction or the ability to code and package and ship our application is very much fast. Okay. So what are the Docker properties or features basically? So using Docker, we can basically deliver our codes very much fast, which is not the case earlier, or in a traditional fashion. It was the deployments or the code testing takes lot of time, but using the Docker, it's now very much fast because we can easily create our application within a few minutes. We can have uh, easy operating system will be available quickly. Once we run a only single command, then system will be available to us, right? So we'll check that very much shortly mm, in our labs. And as I mentioned, like once the image is available, if you need a, like the replica means basically if you need a 10 instances, means a replica, right? The replica means the same instance is copied 10 times, that is basically a replica. Okay, so that's why, like if you have a production use case that I need a one container 10 times, right? Because of all the production workload will be handled by that 10 machines, right? So once you have a basically a working container, we can easily basically replicate that container 10 times, right? And that is basically the use of Docker. We can easily replicate that container, and once the 10 containers are alive, all this workload will get shifted to the 10 containers, and those will be in production, and production logs will get logged in those containers, and our workload will get managed with that capacity. Okay, and as you know, like this the deployment is very much quicker using this Docker containers. We do have a flexibility, right? Now basically, because we do have a old Docker image as well and the new Docker image as well. Once we do a deployment, you within a single click or using some set of instructions, the Docker image will get copied or restored on the various servers, right? Backend servers or the physical servers. But if you see, like if we observe any issues or the application getting crashed, we can easily switch back to our previous Docker image, so that there will be a quick deployment, as well as we can also revert the code as well. Okay, I'll just quickly check. I feel the class will understand only who is having prior knowledge on deployments. Okay, so basically, yeah, okay, I will just discuss about like what is basically the deployment. Deployment is like suppose there is a website. Okay, suppose there is a website. So the website, I will just quickly give you, like if, yeah, and it's good that, like if you do not aware about any particular concept like replica or deployment or any other term, please let me know that, so that I can able to basically update more on that. So basically the deployment is like, the suppose the Google website is running. Okay, so as you type google.com, the instruction goes on a server, right? And the server is nothing but the physical server, or the host, we can call it as. And on that host, as we are talking about Docker, so that website logic is basically running on a container. Okay, and the container is having specific, like one code is running. So the deployment is nothing but, if I want to add more pages on a, or any other logic, or the static images on my website, then I have to deploy the code, or I have to do the config change, right? So that is basically the purpose of deployment. So we if we do have any features, we have to add on a website. I have to, like developer want to have a respective code, and that code then will get uh, shifted to the container or physical machine using the deployment. So that is nothing but the purpose of deployment. Okay, yes. So yeah, I will suggest, please go through the learning materials as well. And if you have any queries for any particular terms, I will also repeat that. Okay. So this is a quick installation of Docker. So we will I think we now there is a time for switching to the lab. So we'll just quickly switch to the labs. I hope your labs are ready. Please check your labs and give a quick confirmation on the chat box, and we will uh, see how to install the Docker and uh, deal with some of the commands. Okay. So please confirm that. Yeah, I can see few of the responses. Okay. So yes. Okay. So and the other thing is like in your lab already the uh, one second, already the Docker is installed. Okay. So I'll just quickly launch my lab. Uh, so I will just first show you uh, okay. Okay. So I have clicked on master. Okay, I have clicked on master. You can see my screen, right? And I have clicked on master, and here the Docker is already installed. Okay, if we add a command docker version, you will get a output that what version is installed. You can see here there is a Docker engine. It's a community edition. Basically, there are Docker is also having two editions. One is community, another is enterprise. Enterprise is a paid one, and you get a support for that as well. So here we have installed there is already a community version installed 19.03. All this Docker is basically built on a Go version. So Go is basically nothing but a software or a programming language, and using that Go, this Docker is basically configured or deployed or created, I can say. So we'll quickly go through our labs. So as I mentioned, like Docker version, you can also see like if we add a Docker version, you will get a long output. It's having various details like when it's built, its architecture, and using Docker hyphen version, you get a quick version info and the build. Okay. Okay. So okay. So basically, this same lab is used for the different programs as well, like Kubernetes. We do have also our Kubernetes in the syllabus. And why it's like a master, worker one, worker two is like using master. Basically, we will manage certain tasks on the worker one and worker two. Like as I discuss about server and client architecture, you can think in a same angle that like it's a master. On a master, the main code or the Kubernetes or the Docker will be installed, and whatever the containers basically like this is kind. I'm talking about the production scenario. Normally, there is no workload or the no applications pods situating on the master, because we have to separate the our workload with our infrastructure or the master components, right? So whatever the components or the application is there, all those application is basically present only on the worker nodes. Okay. So in Kubernetes, basically there is a concept of master and worker nodes. That's why, and in this lab, basically the lab provides the one master and two worker nodes. Okay. So okay, so we will basically quickly check as the Docker is already installed, but I will show you like how to remove the Docker, and we will install basically the fresh Docker. Okay, I will repeat that concept again, but I will first, I think I will show you how to uh, remove the Docker, and then we will start with the practicals or lab, and I will surely check all the messages on the chat, and I will respond to that. Okay. So basically, this command, if you are not familiar, this is a Ubuntu machine. I will also show you how to check that. Those who are not familiar, with the command line, the Ubuntu commands. So yep. Yeah, so Ramaya, like I will update you about the worker and master. Uh, I will give you explanation on that. Yeah, so Raman is mentioned like it's for KTS deployment. We can use this architecture. Lab is not starting. Um, okay, can you please again go through that practice labs and click. Shall we also delete the Docker? Uh, so yeah, I will go through the first practical, and then I will show you. Please do not do anything, and only check for your labs. Lab should be starting. Okay. Uh, yeah. There is a teaching assistant as well in this session. So if your labs are not getting started, please connect or ping to the teaching assistant. They will certainly help in that. And secondly, like first I will go through the lab, and then you can repeat that on your side. Please do not do simultaneous commands, otherwise you will miss some of the theory part. So as Docker is already installed, first we will remove that. Okay. So there is a command for this is a Ubuntu machine, master machine, and we will basically doing a, like, if any of the software we have to remove, we use basically apt-get purge, and we have to remove these three components from this master machine. So this is a command, basically apt-get purge and docker cli. So basically you can see, yeah, there is a Google Doc is already created. Google Doc is already created. I will be basically sharing all these commands on a Google Doc. So I'm just showing you currently the practical or the lab. Yeah. So you can see, like, once I have deleted, this command will not work because the packages are already removed from the machine. Okay. So and yeah, as it's from where we can check that it's having which OS. Yeah. Please check the start lab section. In case you are still facing the issue, please, labs are very much important throughout the session. So please check it should be working. So how we can check the OS, what is the OS present on this machine? So there is a command cat star release. So you get a view that this is the Ubuntu 18 machine. Okay. So as we have removed our Docker, so I will quickly install that. Okay. So the command for installing the Docker is apt-get install. Yeah, thanks for confirming, Hari. So you can see this is the command for installing the Docker. Apt-get install Docker CE. C for community edition. So I'm just hitting enter. You can see that it's checking the repositories, it's checking the dependent components, it's installing the packages which we have removed. Okay. So here containerd IO, Docker CE, Docker C CLI, all these you can also see, like you can also see this line as well, like whenever there is a upgrade or anything happening, you can see that as we are newly installing this, that's why you are getting a message 3 newly installed. Okay, font size is too small. Okay, I think it's visible now, right? Okay. So yes, so this line is very much important here because whenever you are removing or installing package, what is exactly happening, what packages it's showing, what packages will get removed or installed or upgraded, you should get a view because it can also affect the system. That's why it's very much important to check the output, what's it happening. Now it's asking us for do we want to continue with the installing this operation. I am adding a yes, and you can see that it's checking the repository, it's downloading the packages, and also it's doing a untar, unpack. It's basically installing these packages on the system, and once this is complete, the docker installation will get complete. You can see that we got a out the command is complete here. And if we do now docker version, we will get a view that the docker version we are getting this 19.03 version is deployed installed here. Okay, there is a on in Ubuntu there is a service as well, right? So I will just show you what is the service here. Yeah, just wait for the lab to finish, and then you can do your practicals. Please do not do simultaneous, otherwise you will be miss some of the important points. Okay, so uh, using this command, you can see that the your Docker daemon is running basically. Okay, so this is very much important. Again, the second command is like how if your Docker or if your machine host is rebooted, then the Docker will not get started, or the process, any process will not get started. That's why what we have to do, enabling on the boot level. Okay, for that particular service we have to enable the Docker on a boot, meaning that once this command is executed, even this node or the host, there are three same things, right? The node, host, or physical machine, it's the same thing. Okay, but in certain programs or on a PDF PPT you can find different words. So but all these are like the same thing. So on this particular node, once I execute this command, even the node is get rebooted still on a boot. Like once the system is getting booted, this Docker daemon will get started automatically. So for that, basically we have to run this command. So as we have executed this command, it will make sure that whenever the system gets booted or rebooted or anything happen with this system, always start the Docker daemon on a start. So we can use this technique on a production servers as well, because it should not be like if any of the server is get rebooted, you have to again start the application. We can basically use this technique to enable the application on the booting. Okay, why the, I think there is a question on a chat, why the sudo is used, I think. Okay, just let me check. Okay, okay, yeah, can you Google console permission? Okay, yeah. So sudo is, yeah, as we are running all the commands from the lab user, sudo is important to add, and it will give a privilege access or the privilege permission to run these commands. Okay, so we will quickly go with the our next labs commands. Okay, so there is a basically a directory here, etc docker. In the etc docker, basically this is a default directory for the Docker. Whatever the configuration or properties we have to set, we can basically set these properties in this etc docker command. So there is a basically a default configuration file daemon.json. So we have to create that. So one second. I'm just quickly going into the labs and okay, okay, no issues. So basically we will create here pwd is a present working directory. So we are in a home lab user, but we want to go in a docker etc docker, and we have to create a file that is daemon.json. Okay, so this is important. um, okay, I think I haven't used sudo here. So if you are not familiar with the vi, please I will just give you the quick intro on that. Like we are basically creating a file daemon.json, uh, and we are using sudo here. We are using vi is the editor basically, and we have to create a file daemon.json. Okay, so once we hit enter, we get basically the screen where we have to put a insert here. Once insert is added, we can basically type the contents. So here the syntax for this is like we have to basically define a directory here. Yeah, it's a kind of value pair. The variable is there, and it's having a value. So here one data root is there. We are saying that all our docker things, the data root, it should have this mnt docker data, and we are using a storage driver. uh, we are using a storage driver as overlay. So yeah, no issues. We will again repeat what we discussed. No issues even if you join late. But yeah, I will suggest to stick to the joining time so that no contents will get missed. But yeah, we will do a overview again in our break or the tomorrow as well. Yeah. So basically we have added our contents in the daemon.json, and now we have to, yeah, and now how to basically do. Okay, yeah, I will just go through this first, and I will respond to you. Okay, so now as we have changed, basically we will restart a docker here. Okay, systemctl restart a docker. Okay, exited with it's showing that there is a problem in the contents, I think. Yeah, let me check. Okay, so it's failed basically because there may be some typo in the file. Okay, yeah, so the semicolon is missing. The Yes, this character is missing on that. That's why it's showing the error. Okay, one second. So yeah, comma is missing. Correct. Um, Yeah, the spelling for storage driver is correct. Okay. storage. Yeah, we'll be using the storage driver only. Colon outside. Okay. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So basically, yeah, as I have copied the block from the document, so there is no special character or something. So basically, the storage driver is used like what storage or the what storage driver we should have for our images and containers. That's why we are basically using the storage driver. Okay, so I will just quickly restart the Docker, and yeah, you can see that it's basically worked. There was hardly a difference here, right? I think yeah, there is a space here in the after colon, right? That was missing in earlier comment. Okay, so now we will basically run our first container. Okay, so as of now what we did, I will just recap. Okay, we discussed about those who have joined late. So we discussed about Docker, what is Docker, the features of Docker, what is the difference between Docker and virtual machine, then like installation of Docker, how to install that daemon.json file, how to check if the Docker process is running, and now we can check basically here the Docker PS. It's not working because I haven't given the sudo, right? So I have to make sure that you also have to make sure that the sudo is mentioned at the start of command, because we are working from the lab user. Okay, so we can see that there is no container running. Okay, so we will start our first container as a hello world program. If you join if you know C or any of the programming languages, then the hello world is a famous basically the program, right? So so what we will be doing, like we will be running our first container, that is hello world. So and what is the command for that? Okay, so this is docker run hello world. So so this is the command basically to run the container. So what is the syntax is docker run means we have to run the container, and hello world is the basically container or the image name. So once we hit the enter, what it will happen, I will just tell you. Okay, so so the docker run and hello world. Hello world is the image name. So what it check basically, it checks the image. This hello world is the image. uh, it check basically in the repository on this particular server, but as this was not present locally, that's why it pulled from the repository online repo. Okay, so you can see here that it downloaded the or pulled the latest hello world, and you can see here the message that pull is complete, and this is basically the output of docker or the output of the hello world program. So basically we just ran our first docker container, And you might wondering like why I'm not getting the output in the Docker PS. So Docker PS is like nothing but a PS command of Linux. So Docker PS basically shows how to what are the presently running containers in your system. So I will just give you the idea that why it's not showing in the Docker PS and why it's now showing in the -a option. Once we use the -a option, then we can see that our container is basically showing here. So if you uh, uh, like I will just give you update that like container is nothing but the running instance of a image. Okay, container is nothing but the running instance of a image. So what happened here in our first command, we created a container hello world, and yeah, I will also show you that. So we ran a command docker run hello world, and it downloaded the image. Okay, I will just check here docker, 1 second. So you can see here the Docker image, it just downloaded here, right? Hello world. It's having a tag as latest. We will check that what is the tag and everything, and the size of the image as well. Okay. So in the Docker PS, the hello world program is only showing basically the output. This output, okay, whatever the output it's showing, this is basically configured in the Docker image itself, and the and the and the and the purpose of this Docker image only to show this content. Hello world image, the purpose is only to show this content, and as we got the content on our screen, the Docker image basically exited means it stopped. Okay, so and the purpose for that Docker container is done. That's why you do not see basically the image is running or the container is running in the Docker PS. You can see only the column names here, but this -a is basically it's showing all whatever the containers that are running or that are in a stop state or those are exited. All those basically you can see that in a Docker PS -a for all, and you can see that this was the container which is having the container ID. Okay, you can please pay attention, like this is complete output for the single container which just ran. It's having a container ID, it's having the image which was used to create this container. Okay, then the what command we are using, it's you basically doing a hello. It created a minute ago. What is the current status for that? It's exited, and this name is like it's taking a random name which is configured in the Docker. So so basically this is the detail about the Docker container itself. And if you check like a Docker image, you will get a view that the hello world Docker image basically recently downloaded, and using that image this container got created, and the container did his work, like given a hello message here, and as the purpose or the task is done for that container, the container got exited. Okay, so this is our first Docker container. I hope you got what is container, the features of container, how to install the Docker, how to remove the Docker, how to run first program or the container. Here I will just quickly share you all these details on a DCA this Google Doc. Okay, I am just sharing that on a chat section. I will be covering your all queries. Just give me please check if you can access this Google Doc. Okay, so is there any container running currently? We can see Docker PS. Yeah, so if you run any command Docker PS, there will be no running container. Okay, uh, so currently there is no container running. Even if you check on your labs, uh, So there will be no content running. Okay, I'm just copying this command. Okay, and 1 second. Okay, let me check for the Google Drive. Okay, so okay, you don't need this because already the, so this is having installing Docker and installing removing Docker. Okay, I'll just prepare this RAF first. Okay, for the lab, install and remove uh, Docker and run hello world image. Okay, so once it is all okay, install Docker. Okay, verify Docker and check. So I'm just tagging each of the commands. Okay, so that you will get a view what that command is for. uh, just a second. Okay, so once I will just also paste the content for daemon.json. Okay, where was my lab? Okay, yeah, I will check the chat, the questions. Okay, okay. Can anyone confirm? I think just check me like I think don't where is the Docker it install. Okay, can you confirm once again? Like you can see my you can access the Google Doc. Okay, okay, share. 1 second. Okay. Uh, yeah, please check. Please check. I have just given the. Okay, please check. I have just given the access. Okay, so you should be able to check the Google Doc. Okay. So yeah, basically I want everyone to uh, uh, do this lab. Okay. uh, Once this lab is done, you will be basically able to install the Docker. You can please check if you want to remove the Docker, but it's already installed. So you can check if you want to remove, and then you have to again install. And please check all the commands, do that one by one, and run the hello world program. Okay. I'll just give you 10 minutes to 10 minutes to run this. Okay. uh, Run this exercise. Okay. And meanwhile I will also check for the open questions. Okay. So yeah. Uh, Thanks, Hari, for sharing this link again. Okay, I'm just going. I'm on a mute. I'm just going on the questions, and I will also again answer your query. Please use this time to uh, do the labs on from the Google Doc. Okay, thank you again. And also, if you see any issues with the exercise or the lab, please let me know. Okay. Yeah, basically, I think I will just quickly check 1 second. Yeah, so the commands which I have deleted, that was a repeat, right? Like uh, when we were facing the issues with the daemon.json, those only I think I have deleted. Okay, all the other commands are already there. Okay, so we have just checked about like a Docker version, then removing Docker, verifying the operating system, installing the Docker. Okay, so yeah, I will just as daemon.json. Yeah, yeah. Basically, so the daemon.json is a file that is a configuration file which manages basically the Docker properties. Okay, so if you want your Docker image, Docker content, Docker engine to communicate with the objects, what should be the setting while doing the interaction? Like as we mentioned, the storage driver. There might be multiple other properties as well, like key value pair. So how your Docker should behave or interact with the internal components, that you have to define, in your daemon.json file. And using that daemon.json file, uh, using that daemon.json file, basically the your Docker behavior will be there. If you want to change the behavior, like if you want more properties file configured in terms of key pair, you can use that, and then those features or the settings will get uh, affected once you restart that. So this is based on your requirement. It's same for like you can take an example of etc fstab file on a operating system, right? So in etc fstab there is a mount point is there, then file system is there, like there are various file systems, right? ext2 ext3. So what mount point is required, what file system is required, right? In a similar fashion, in a Docker, this is a configuration file used to basically manage the configuration. Okay. Yeah. This was a command which was deleted from Google. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got Shrikant. I got Shrikant. What you were talking about? Okay, just let me give you that again. Okay, that's present in your assisted. Okay, so basically I will just explain that if you want to check that. Okay, so basically what this Docker apt-get is doing, like a apt-get update. So basically it's basically checking the repositories, it's downloading or updating the repositories on the system, so that whatever the new versions of application is there, those will get installed. So basically it's just syncing the repositories on that system or the node. Secondly, like as we have to install the repository for Docker, so we are basically whatever the dependencies are there, we are basically installing that dependencies like a CS certificates or this app transport software properties. So we are basically preparing our system to install the Docker. So these are like a prerequisite for that. Again, there is a gpg key is mentioned. So we are basically downloading the repository here in this command. We are basically making sure that we will not be getting any issues once we execute the docker install c command. So whatever the previous commands are there, that is basically a prerequisite to install the Docker. Okay. Yeah, so as the Docker is already installed on the system, that's why I haven't gone through that and I haven't performed that. Yes. So yeah, if you want, I can copy that command again. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, on a production systems, it's good to have the daemon.json, because that will basically manage the behavior for Docker, right? But as I think there was a no docker.json file, right? When I was doing the earlier practice, right? Labs, that time there was a no docker.json file, and still I am able to run the docker ps command, I think, right? Yeah. Okay. So okay. 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 I will just add a timer as well. Okay. Just 1 second. Okay. Okay. So okay, I can maybe change. I can increase the timing once it stops. Okay. So because I think you are facing some of the issues during this lab, so we will increase the timing as well until you everyone haven't finished with this exercise. Okay. Okay. I'm just checking the hello. I'm just checking the questions from everyone. Okay. I will try to answer every question. Please remind me, like, if you think that the question is not answered, so please remind me on that. Okay. Yes, I'm there. I'm there. Uh, I think I should you should be getting those Word documents, but yeah, I will check on my side. Okay, first. Okay. Uh, Run sudo docker ps. Okay. Okay. So where's the video getting started every time? Uh, Great. Like if some of the participants done with the lab, please confirm, or you still need like 5 more minutes, so we can wait for that, and then we will resume our next labs and theory. Okay. I will just maybe edit this for 5 more minutes. Okay. Yeah. Can everyone please respond that, like, you are not observing any issues with this particular lab, and okay, so please do this lab. If you are still in between, please complete this lab and confirm. Okay, so yeah, assisted lab guide, I think it's not having that data. Okay, so uh, but yeah, I think you will be getting all the commands. Okay, so you will be getting all the commands, so on a this Google Doc. So yeah. There should be WhatsApp group for the knowledge sharing for this batch. Okay, I think there is already a community, right? You can see there is already a community here, right? Uh, so yeah, there is already a community here, so you can use that for sharing or communication with others. Okay, for this batch. Yeah. Yeah, so for the daemon.json file, I need to check, okay, because I think the if the configuration file is hard coded in the code or the Docker engine, then we have to stick with the same name only. But if we can pass our user defined configuration file, then we can have that. I will be checking on that and will update you, okay, in some time. Yeah. Everyone, can you please confirm that you are done with the lab? Okay. There should be space. There should be space in the vi and daemon.json file. It's not a continuous word. Uh, so yeah, it's not recommended as per the policy. I think you heard that already. That no mobile numbers and should be shared because already the community is there. Yeah, please yeah, please use the exact commands. You will get to know what the typo you have done. Okay. Yeah. Cannot able to type anything on a daemon.json file. Yes, yes, as mentioned. Okay, I will also write that. So once you, okay, okay, so basically once using vi is a editor, and once below command, once you do enter, you have to press I. This is I to insert text. Okay, okay. So and once this is done, okay, once you insert a text, once config is added, you have to press escape and colon wq to save the file. Okay. I'm sorry for that. I think I haven't discussed about how to save the file. So this is the way. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There is a nano editor as well. Like if you think that you are facing issues with the VI editor, you can also use nano. Yeah. So can everyone please give me confirmation that those are done with the labs, so that we can start with the next topic. Okay. I will just stop sharing my screen. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Meanwhile, those who are not done with the labs, please please do the needful as per the Google Doc, and add a confirmation on the chat that you are done with it. I'm online only. Just stopping my screen and on a mute. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, we will take a break on 11 a.m. IST. Okay. So exit is, yeah. So yes. So Babu, you have to, yeah, Babu, you have to press escape and then colon WQ. Thanks, Tripurari. Uh, so I'm hoping like everyone done with the labs. I think only Babu may be facing some issues. So Babu, once you confirm you are done with lab, then we'll switch to the next topic. Okay. So yes, I think yes, Nikhil, right? Yeah. So Nikhil, I will check on that. I will share the what documents it's given by the Simply Learn only. But yeah, I will share that on at the end of our session, today's session. Okay. Yeah, no issues with that. Okay. Yeah, but whatever the contents I will be covering from or the labs, basically you will be also getting the same thing on a this Google Doc as well. But as for your reference, I can add that on a this Google, okay, Google Drive, okay. So I will add that at the end of session, okay, or maybe I can do that in my break as well, okay. Yeah, yeah, there are a lot of pings, so please excuse me if I miss any of the queries, okay, or you can maybe add that again, okay. Yeah, also yeah, that is also the other thing. That's why I will suggest you please go through all the lab materials. Also stick to the lab which we have given, and then we can proceed because we do have a lot of syllabus. We do have 6 days station, right? So that's why it's very much important to stick with the labs. Also if you have any issues, you can go through the learning material as well. Maybe you can also go through the learning videos as well as the PPT, so that the all the concept will get cleared very much. And if you have still any issue, then please add that question on a chat, okay. Thanks, Babu, for confirming that you are done with the lab. So yeah, as I have mentioned, assisted lab practice, I will be sharing that on a this Google link only after some time, okay, or maybe at the end of session, okay. So yeah, we'll switch to our uh, uh, so yeah, I'm just opening my PPT and ads already. Okay. So I think we just discussed about how to install. What is the? I will just recap. So we discussed about how to install the Docker. What is Docker engine? What is Docker architecture? What are the usage of Docker? Uh, so yes, how to install the Docker? How to remove the Docker? Uh, uh, Then configuring the daemon.json file, basically it's used for the uh, for creation of flags and setting up environment variables. How to start the Docker process, then how to enable that on a boot level. So yeah. So now we will discuss about, I will just quickly check all practice labs we can get from under the live virtual class curriculum. Yes, I will suggest, like, as this is our first session, so please go through all the materials or all the content shared by Simplilearn, and you will get more idea to use this platform. Okay, thanks for that, Ramaya. So yeah, now we will discuss about, like we have already discussed about, like Docker Docker server, the REST API, and Docker client CLI, right? So and this is a Docker client server architecture, right? So so here you can see in the image itself, on a left side there is a Docker client. That means our node only, from where we are typing our command. So that is a Docker client, okay. And there are numerous commands, right, like Docker pull, Docker build, Docker run. We just check one command only currently, that is Docker run, right? And on in the middle there is a Docker host. So the Docker host is nothing but our physical machine, or the node, or the worker node, or the node, right, physical machine, or the server, right? And on that Docker host, the Docker is installed, right? The Docker engine is installed, which we just did, right, using the apt-get install docker c command. So once the Docker is installed on the machine, sorry, so basically we call it as a Docker host, okay. And all this Docker engine, the REST API is like, this Docker engine can communicate with the other programs as well, right, external programs. So and all this interaction is basically done by the REST API, okay. So so this Docker host is basically now our physical machine on which the Docker is installed, okay. And on a top right corner you can see that there is a registry. So we will discuss more about the registry in our next sessions. But what is meaning by the registry is, registry is nothing but, in a simple language, it's a collection of images. So you know, like it's a there are like open source forum in which many developers create the images and they push it where the others or the world can basically use that images, or we can use their work to do our some of the work, right? So that is nothing but the registry. So whatever the images mentioned, like the Ubuntu, Ansible, or Nginx, CentOS, all these images are basically stored on the registry. And we basically, our Docker host is basically called the registry, okay. uh, so 1 second, okay, I will just check the chart. uh, yeah, it's called as Docker Hub only, right? Alright. Yeah, break will be 15-20 minutes, starting with 11. Okay, we do have a 20 minutes, so we'll discuss about some theory part here, and the break will be of 20 minutes. Uh, so yes, so basically, yeah, as I discussed earlier, the CE is nothing but the community edition, and the EE means the enterprise edition. Okay. So for community edition, we do not get any support from the company or the vendor, okay, or the Docker company itself, because it's a community edition. It's a free, right? It's not having any license, right? So and how you will get a support? That you have to do, you have to join forums, or you have to search online if you are facing any issues, or for your use case. So you have to search in the forum for that. And for enterprise edition, as we are paying the licenses, right, we are paying the license fee, we are getting a support from the Docker itself, right? There can be many vendors who is maybe giving the support for the vendor. So and once we purchase the licenses from that for particular organization, and the vendor will be responsible for giving the support, whatever we observed the issues in our platform, the vendor will be we have to create a ticket for that, for the support which we require. Okay, so yeah, so for community edition we will not be getting any support. Okay, so coming back to our Docker architecture, the client basically requesting image. Okay, so in our hello world program, how the flow will happen, once we run the docker run hello world command, the Docker engine basically interacting with the registry. From that, basically it's downloading the image, hello world image on a locally on the Docker host machine, and using that image. Okay, using that image here, the Docker daemon is basically creating the container. Okay, so please listen carefully. The Docker client is communicating with the Docker host to download the image from the registry, and once the image is downloaded on the Docker host, using that image the container will get created. Okay, and we can use that container for our use case. Maybe for hello world we just view that we get a some text, that is the purpose of that hello world image. Okay, hello, yeah. Can you please confirm I'm audible and you can see my screen? Okay, okay, great. uh, yeah, thanks for confirming. Yeah, Docker is register is nothing but a Docker hub. Okay, yeah, thanks for confirming that. Okay, now, yeah, we have already discussed about what is Docker daemon, Docker client. Docker client is nothing but our terminal through which we basically query the Docker daemon for our use case, like we dealing with the various object of Docker, or communication with the Docker services. Okay, so okay. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Docker daemon is nothing but it's basically accept the request from the Docker client. It manages the various objects supported by Docker, like images, containers, networks, or volumes, and it also communicate with other daemons. Okay, so what is Docker registry? uh, Basically it's nothing but a Docker hub. It stores the Docker images, right? We can have our images as well, or whatever the publicly available images, those also stored in the Docker registry. So you can see there are two types of categories. Docker registry, it's local registry is there. Basically we can use the local registry to pull the image, and there is another like a Docker trusted registry is also there, that is kind of publicly available secure one, having the URL as well. uh, and we can also basically integrate many tools if you want to scan the image as well before downloading it on our platform. Okay, so that there will be no issues with the image. Okay, yes, Docker registry can be both public as well as private. You can think of like you are working in an organization, right? and whatever the image store is there in your company, or like whatever the developers creating the images, right? Those should not be accessible publicly, right? So that is kind of a private Docker registry, I can say. Okay, but right now you can see, like we just discussed, or we just downloaded the Hello World, right, program, and in coming lectures we will be seeing downloading the CentOS, Nginx, or any other publicly available Docker images, right? So that is a public, right? That is public. We can easily download it, those image. Whoever, whatever the images available publicly, we can download that, and those are like public. But if the certain image is there, you have created that on your laptop or your server, and you don't want to give that to anybody because it might have a sensitive information, or the code, right? And you don't want to share that with others, that is kind of a private Docker images, right? We just discussed about the Docker objects as well, and we will, in coming lectures, we will be dealing with all these objects, that is images, containers, networks, volumes, and plugins. Okay. um, okay. So yeah, any issues on any concept, please let me know, because we do have a next lab, okay, for pulling the Docker image. So we just did that for Hello World, but we will be now next time we will be in next lab we will be maybe uh, pulling the different image. Okay, so we will for the next lab, what is the agenda? Basically, pull an image from the Docker hub, then we will create a container from that image. We can also we will stop the running container as well, then we will delete the container as well, then we can also remove the image. How to do that, all these things we will be covering in the next lab. Okay. Yes. So what we learned from this session, or the slide, is like Docker is nothing but a platform in which uh, developers or system admins create their software, right? Create the software, bundle it, and ship it anywhere as per the use case. May it be like a staging environment or a production environment. uh, we ship we ship that uh, software, and once it's shipped, we can run the applications from that. Okay. uh, we discussed that Docker is having a client server architecture. Okay. The Docker client is basically interacting with the Docker daemon, then and the Docker daemon, basically it's having the role that it will distribute the Docker containers among the available resources. Okay. And we have already discussed, I think the Docker is created in a Go language, and it supports the 64-bit architecture. Okay. So these are the major key takeaways from this PPT. Can anyone tell me, Docker is created in which language? Please update your answer on a chat. So yeah, Docker is created in which language? Yeah, great. Can anyone tell me? Yeah, can anyone tell me, how to check the running container? What is the command for that? Okay, great, Shrikant, Aditya, Vijay Lakshmi, Erudia, Swati, Abhinaya, Nikhil. Okay, so yeah, so from both the commands, basically, you can see that the running container. Okay, but yeah, can anyone confirm, how the exited container you will get? Okay, is it with the Docker PS, or is it with the Docker PS -a? Yes. So hyphen A is used, like hyphen A is for all, right? Hyphen A is for all. So even with this command, you will get a exited container. So whatever the total containers running on the machine, you will get all those containers with this command. Okay. So yeah, can anyone tell me like how to check what are the images available on the host? What is the command for that? Correct, Raman. Okay. Okay. Right. Docker images. Okay. Great. Great. Chandrima, Sayed, Shashikala, Kalyani. Correct. Okay. So I think it's 10:53. Okay. We will take a break on 11. Okay. Any issues you do have up to this session? Please let me know. Yeah, please let me know if you do see any issues with the concepts cover or the labs done as of now. Okay. Thanks, Raman. Uh, okay. Yeah. So the thing is, yeah, Vijay Lakshmi, thanks for your query. Yeah, we'll be shortly taking the break, Melvin. You can also like you can take a break, but yeah, I'll be quickly discussing on this query, and I will be giving a 20 or 25 minutes break, and I will be also circulating a survey. Okay, polling. Uh, uh, okay. So yeah, coming back to the question. Coming back to the question, why industries are moving out of Docker and moving towards KTS? Okay. So yeah, so the basically the thing is like doc there should be a platform, right? In the Docker, you see like we are using the commands like Docker PS and all, and like in coming days we will see like how to form a cluster and all using the Swarm and all, right? So there are like different technologies basically there, which we so there will be a leverage to use the features of Docker, right? So if Kubernetes is nothing but the terminology, right? But in the backend we are using the Docker's basic Dockers only, right? So in Kubernetes there will be like the commands will be different, but we are using the concepts of Docker only, right? And using Kubernetes like it's having a UI as well as, and it's having various facilities, right? Various features basically given by the Kubernetes or KTS in short form, and some of them are maybe not available with the currently Docker. That's why many of the industries are basically using the Kubernetes. Okay. Yeah. Shall you cover how to deploy the application and run the application using? Yes, yes, Babu. So we'll be covering that, as this is our just a first session, right? So we'll be covering all the things as per the course contents, right? We'll be installing the web server, how to run that web server, the ports, how to access the website like the index.html. So we'll go through all the things, right? We'll go through all the things, Babu. Okay. Yeah. Hope Vijay Lakshmi, like hope I answered your query. Okay. Yeah, maybe yeah. We can take a break right now for maybe 20 minutes. So for up to like 11:20. Okay. So I will add a timer. You can take a break, and meanwhile I will also yeah. I think can you just confirm, Hari, like whatever the timer I have set earlier, you can see that on a corner, right, on your screen, right? Or you haven't observed the okay. Okay, so I will check like the timer should be visible to everyone. Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, on screen please. Yes, yes, I will take care, Raman. So yeah, it's a break time. I'll just add a pulling, and you can take a break. Okay, for 20 minutes. Thank you. I will see you in next 20 minutes. Thanks. Welcome back everyone. Please confirm you are online and written back. Okay. Yeah, so I can see a couple of responses. They are came back. Okay. Alright, timer. Okay. Now we will do more hands-on lab session. Okay. So we'll just quickly recap until like if a few of the team members still not uh, came back. So what we have discussed as of now, like what is Docker, what are the usage features of Docker, how to install the Docker, how to run a simple Hello World program or the container, how to list the images, then how to list the exited containers. Okay, so we saw all these things. Then we also check about how to restart the Docker daemon, how to enable the Docker daemon on boot. Okay, setting configuring the daemon.json file. Okay, all this installing and removing the Docker. All these things we have checked as of now. Uh, so and now we will discuss about other commands of Docker. Okay, so yep, I will just remove this. Okay, so I'll just check as I have again restarted my lab. So I'll just check like the Docker is running. Okay, the command is working fine, right? You can see the hello world is exited container is showing, right? So we will now check how to pull the images. Okay, so from Docker images we can see that. Okay, uh, okay, uh, let me check. Yeah, let me 1 minute only. Okay. Yeah, is it good now? Can you please confirm? Okay, great. So yes, so we have checked like how to check the images or the present images using the Docker images command. Okay, now what we will be doing, we have to download one of the image, that is nginx. Okay, so what will be the command for that? That is sudo docker pull nginx. Okay, so docker pull is basically used to download the image from the repository. Okay, so you can see all the uh, all the layers basically getting downloaded, and you can see the message that it's basically pulling the latest image file. We can see the output, and finally it's getting stored on the our machine. Okay, so we will execute the same command again like docker images, and you can see that this nginx image is getting downloaded. Each image is having a unique ID. Okay, and also the size. So here you can see the difference here, as nginx is heavy the image. We can see the difference between hello world and nginx. The nginx is almost having 142 MB size. Okay, Yeah, we can have another as well. Okay, we can have another as well. It's not having any issue. Okay, so so yeah. Okay, okay, yeah. HTTPD, yes. Apache 2 is the like a daemon. So we should be very much familiar with the image name first. Okay, image name, like what's the image name to download. Okay, if we are not aware and we are just typing like the Apache 2 is the daemon, and we are thinking that like if we can download the image, so if that image is not available, then it will not get downloaded. So that's why we got a error. Okay, but we can create our own images as well, and we can name that as well as a Apache 2 on our side. Okay, so we can see that we have downloaded two images, right? So this is to pull the image from the repository, and we have downloaded two images, Nginx and HTTPD. Okay, now we have to like Nginx. Okay, so all these are like a web servers. Okay, all these are a web server. If you have to host a website, HTTPD and Nginx is used to host a website. So those are basically the web server. Okay, so as we are typing a command google.com, yahoo.com, those are basically web servers, and those are basically in a backend, those might get installed on a Nginx or HTTPD or a related software, right? So there are multiple web servers, right? Yeah. So how to run a container? Okay, so last time we have ran the hello world. Now what we will be doing, running the running the nginx container. Okay, so basically what is the command for that? Docker run. These are like arguments. Basically we are giving -p for port. We are basically giving a port as 80, and so inside port and outside port we are giving that. Okay, because we need a port for the nginx, right? uh, okay, so and you know, like the normal web server default port is 80. Sometimes someone's are using like a 8080 as well. Okay, so this is the basically default port for that. As we have just, you can see that uh, we have just started the container, so we'll just check. So -dt is for like a detached mode. Okay, -dt is for detached mode, because detached mode is means like if we haven't given that -d and t for like a tty terminal, if we haven't give that option, then we will be in a running container. Okay, we'll be in a running container. But as we have given the detached mode, that meaning that we will get a prompt, right? Like now, right now we got a prompt, right? So that is the meaning of that. Okay, yeah. So I will just quickly check like what is the output of Docker PS here. Okay, so you can see that our image, or we have downloaded the image Nginx, then we have ran the container Nginx using the sed command. Okay, docker run -dt for detached terminal, and -p for port, and 80:80, and then image name, right? This nginx is the image name, and this is the complete syntax to run the container. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I will just quickly go through the chart. Okay, we can SSH. Yes, we can SSH. We will check that as well. Okay, yep. We'll check that as well, to how to log in into the container. Okay, how to check what the container is doing, right? So this is basically to run to download the nginx image, and how to run a container out of that. Okay, and we can see that our container is successfully executing, because it's doing their job, right? In earlier case, our hello world program was terminated, right? Like exited. You can see the difference here as well, right? Like docker ps -a, in all we can see that one container is exited, that is hello world, but another container nginx, because its job is to serve the request, right? Whatever the web server task the container have to do, it have to do that, right? That's why the container is in running state. You can see the difference here in the output. Okay, one container is exited and the other container is in a running state. Okay, and you can see that the container is having container id. You can see the difference in names as well. Okay, yeah. Okay, so basically for port, basically we have to bind the port. Okay, because like web server listens on a port 80, so we have to bind the port. That's why basically we have given the port as like inside the image or the container itself having a 80 as a port, right? So that's why we have to give the port as well. Okay, I will just quickly show you. I'll just quickly show you how to do a exec into the container. Okay, exec means taking an access. Okay, taking an access of a container. Okay, okay. So here is a syntax for that basically. I'll just go through your comments later. Okay, okay. One second, I've had. So you can see here, like you can see the syntax here. Okay, so what I did here, basically the nginx is a web server. Okay, and what I did in this command, I did like sudo docker exec. So this exec is basically to log in into the container. Okay, to log in into the container with a shell, we are executing basically this exec execute. Okay, and hyphen int is like a interactive and again a tty terminal. Okay, so using this hyphen it basically we are basically and passing the container id here and a bash as a prompt. Okay, and we are getting, so now right now we are in a container. Okay, right now we are in a container, and if we execute, so all the commands will not work here. Okay, I'll just quickly check if the netstat is there. Okay, netstat is not there. ss, okay, it's also not there. Okay, so yeah, so as you got to know, like this nginx, it's a web server image. It's not like whatever the command you hit on the linux, all this command will not work on the container, because the container image we have downloaded that from the repository, right? So whatever the repository the image having, those commands will only work here. Okay, so this is basically like how to install the nginx, how to go into the container. Okay, how to go into the container. If I do a exit here, you can see that I am out of the container now, right? But if you check, that the container is still running. Okay, because I haven't said anything that container should be always running. This this nginx container, that should be always running, right? So what if there is a use case that I have to stop the container, right? So how to do that, right? So this is the option. Okay, docker stop and container id. Okay, docker stop and okay, docker stop and container id. Okay, so you can see that I got an output here, and if I do a check here, what it's showing now, it's showing now as a exited, right? So if you want to do like how to stop a container, running container, you can do with this way. Okay, now what if I have to start the container back, right? So within with a start basically docker start container name. So you can please note that you can add anything here. Okay, Anything means Docker start, and you have to specify either container ID or the names. Okay, so what I can do, like I will start by container ID first. So you can see here that container again started, right? I can again show you for the Docker stop, for Docker stop with the with the name, right? So this adoring error is the name, right? And you can see that, like using the we can use any of the container ID or the name of the container, okay, to stop or start the container, right? So you can see again we have stopped the container using the names, okay, and you can see the status here for the container, it's in a exited state. And if again we have to start that, we just need to add a start and the name section, okay, and you can see you are basically in the output you are basically getting the name of that container, and whenever you are using the container ID you are getting that info once you hit the docker start or docker stop command, okay. So yeah, so like if I have to execute, like what's the nginx content is there, like the index.html, or what this nginx container is doing, right? So what I have to do, localhost 80, okay. So you can see here basically we are this curl command is basically used to interact with the web server, like, or whatever the url we pass, okay. Hello.
I joined.
Yeah, I think someone was unmuted.
I see your screen. I see your screen. I see some other screen going on right now. This is the Docker certified associate that has opened up. View Pushkar faculty's desktop.
Yes, correct. I can hear
Pushkar
your.
कोई faculty है उनका desktop खुला है.
Hello.
I'm ending the session.